Okay, we are live. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to close a window because it is really, really, really windy. The month of June is not a month that I like because of the wind over here in Port-au-Prince. It's really, really dusty. It's so windy, but we have a lot of dust. So it's dusty and it's very, very windy. So I don't really like it. Who am I working with? There are a couple of people in my neighborhood. I see a few people on a rooftop. So I'm guessing that they are constructors. They are getting some work done. You may hear a few noise. They were quiet as I just started. So if you hear the noise, I am sorry about that. Okay. Okay. The week has been I'm so tired, by the way. I am exhausted. I've been waking up every day like super early because of the webinar, but I feel so accomplished. I feel accomplished. The webinar has been, oh my God. And just I hope that the people who sign in, definitely, I hope that they have, learn and gain a lot from the webinar because I have gained and learned so much from this webinar. I am so just proud, really. I really, it was on my chest, it was really on my chest. It felt like if I hadn't put this out, if I hadn't decided to do this webinar, I would have never, I would have never felt, good afternoon, dear. I would have never felt good, like never felt accomplished. But just to think about you deciding to do something and you putting out, and it's so good. I'm learning. The first day was yesterday was good too. And we have the last day, which is going to be tomorrow. But just first of all, the people who have decided to, present for me, right? These are not you. I don't want to say these are not your regular people, but these are people who actually work in government officials. These are people who have handled projects with, like thousands of dollars, like hundreds and thousands of dollars. These are, scholars. These are well organized, well, like people who know their stuff. And it was a last minute thing. Like, one of the person who is presenting, she is my sister. She is my oldest sister, and she's been working in government official with the U.S. for the like 22 years or so. And my sister has always joined me for any project that I decide to do. And just, you know, to be very honest, like I have all of their presentation, but I was so busy because I was doing the promoting of the week of the work. I was also, have usually I'll have like consultation, and I'm working on so many things. So I'm just concentrating on, you know, promoting the work, being on Instagram, being online, sending newsletters, sending emails, like connecting to other nonprofit, connecting to people who are, in education, letting them know that hey, this is what the youth agency has going on. So I read their presentation. I have all presentation. By the way, everything is going to be uploading on our Beacon accounts. For those of you who have not been able to participate, you will be able to have access to those presentation on the youth agency Beacon account. So hold on, I have to finish and I have to stay so focused. So I just feel so accomplished, guys. And yes, despite the fact that I am tired and exhausted, I still decided to come on live today because it goes back to the first live that I did for you when I told you guys about the story and everything that was going on here in the house and how upset I was, you know, just to come on live and being able to express myself and, share with you what was going on. It was such a relief for me. It felt so like such a relief for me. And it's like the minute that I was able to do that, I was able to pick up the pace and continue with my project, continue with the work that I did, and just push forward, right? as an entrepreneur, as someone who works for myself, it can be very daunting, because when you are in leadership position, when you are the person who is a self starter, so yes, the project, I have the collaboration of other people who decided to join me, but I am the head. I am the person who is, motivating, driving the project forward. When you are someone who is in that leadership position, so you're driving, like you have to know how to stay focused and how to stay in the course of, thing, because anything can throw you off, right? Anything can throw you off, and you can decide and you can be like, fuck it, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm canceling everything. I don't feel good, I'm having a bad day. You know what? Too much is going on around me. Fuck it. I don't want to do this anymore. And you decide to cancel everything, and it's kind of like other people were counting on you. Other people have already put in so much work toward a project that you wanted to see for it. So you have to stand the course and being able to deliver. And I'm so proud of myself because even on Sunday, like on Sunday afternoon, something again took place, and you know um it just made me, I was so upset on Sunday afternoon. I don't know if I want to tell you why. Maybe one day I will tell you why. But it's just like things have been rubbing off me the wrong way, and I'm like, oh my god, when that happened. But with me, what I've noticed and what I've realized is that it's so important for me to have a channel to communicate, to express myself. It's very express communication is my strong suit, but it's very important for me to be able to release. If something is going bad, if I'm, something that I feel like it's uncontrollable, or it's just too much for me, I either need to journal, but sometimes I just need to talk to someone. And it's important because a lot of the times many people don't know how to do that. They don't know how to release. They don't know how to talk. They hold it, especially things that have to do with personal issues, family issues. You may not want people to judge you. You don't want people to look at you funny. You don't want people to feel like, oh my god, like really, or you don't want for people to blame you. With the story that I decided to put out, the first story with the girl who is living here, I could have easily decided not to share anything. I could have easily just decided to hold on to everything that was going on. And maybe this would have created a lot of scenarios in my mind because I would have been like, well, maybe I was at fault. Maybe I should have reacted a different way. Maybe this, maybe that. But just to being able to express myself and share it with you guys, and like I said, feeling the support, feeling like you guys understood where I was coming from, even if none of you commented, but I just felt that energy. I just felt the reassurance from people who knew me, from people who understood where I was coming from. So that really led for me to release that ugly energy, that negative energy, and for me to, and all the week following the incident that happened, it was blessing up and blessing for me. I just felt like, the gods, they were rewarding me because they really felt the tension, and they really felt perhaps that, I was going through a lot. So everything was working so good in my life with that week that followed the incident. Yes, physically I wasn't well, but with my work and everything that was coming forward, it just felt so rewarding. So I did say that I wanted to come and just connect with you guys whenever I have the time. It's all about how I'm feeling and how you guys are receiving me online, how you guys are receiving my presence, how you guys are receiving what I have to do. Because these days, I'm super busy, really. I keep myself busy. And with the work that I'm doing with the youth agency, with the work that I am doing with the consulting, and I try to create time to do, things that are creative and fun for myself. So I haven't really felt that, I wanted to be online, but I love to teach. I also love to connect. And, so whenever I feel like it's well received, I will definitely come on live and connect with you guys. With that being said, yes, I am. You didn't notice? He said, because I said, so this is Mufasa. Mufasa said the gods, because when I say the gods, and then he says plural. So he says, "Are you a voodoo woman?" Yes, I am, Mufasa. I am a servant of the spirit world. Definitely, most definitely. Very, very proud of that. Very happy about that. I am most definitely a daughter of the land of my beautiful country. So I am a voodoo woman. Yes. So, what am I coming here and what am I going to share with you all? I'm a little early. I actually wanted to come on live even earlier because I still, but it's so hot. Yesterday was, oh my God, I do not like this heat. It's so hot. Last night, I just felt like I was melting in the bed. I woke up super early. I literally woke up at 6:30 because I wanted to come on live at noon. But tell me why I took forever to get ready. I still don't know why. But anyways, as I was mentioning to you, the webinar is just I don't even know how to explain it. The I think that it's just what the presenters worked on. They gave me a work that is worth, like, I don't have the cash to really fund what I do and to pay people what they are deserving. I'm speechless. Each presenter is actually longer. It was so long. Literally, the first presentation was maybe an hour and a half, close to 2 hours, and the second presentation was like 2.5 hours. Dr. Lizia, she dived into a lot of statistics. She worked with the ministers here of health, so she had access to so many information about the statistic of HIV. Both of the presentations were very, very different because Dr. Lysias included a lot of role play. She, hey, boo. She included a lot of role play. She included a lot of scenarios. And the first presentation was also, it was just perfect. Like, I don't know what to say. It was really, really good. I learned, like, I was the person who was monitoring, but it's like I learned, I participated, I asked questions, So I really wish that more people had signed in, but people will be able to have access to those information once we are done. So give me about a week or so, and then I am going to put everything on the Beacon account. I can't find the recording for day one. I was on my phone and not on my laptop. I can't find that recording for day one. It says that it's supposed to save on the Zoom cloud, but it looks like I had it recording on my device, and I can't find it here. So if I can't find it, that means that you guys will only have access to the presentation, like what each people present, but you're not gonna have access to the live webinar. But the other ones, I did save it on the Zoom account, so it should be saved on the Zoom cloud for people for me to retrieve and probably put those in, and then so that I'm able to put it on the youth agency Beacon accounts. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of. I'm just really honored. I'm really proud. It's a lot of work, but I'm just really honored, like really proud, especially when I'm able to invite people to participate in projects that like literally you have people who get paid so much money. But I feel like when it comes to me, I really feel like people just really they see they understand my reasonings for coming out with projects and for wanting to put projects out. And that's why they collaborate. People are going to collaborate with you in everything that you do. It's a lot of times it's not the money first, right? Yes, the money is important because we have to be able, when we are putting project out, to pay people. Everybody deserves a payment. Everybody deserves for you to honor their service that they've provided to you. I completely agree about that. But I get people to want to work with me from all walks of life, from anywhere in the world. Really, people are always really wanted to work for me, but I think it's they connect with me. They connect with my whys. Like, why are you doing this? Like 2 years ago, was it last year? I had a woman collaborate with me on technology, AI. You guys have she was a part of the conversation series. She came in, and this is a woman that I didn't even know. It's so weird the way that I was able to connect with her. I actually 2 years ago, when I was launching the Summer Accelerator program, I wanted to collaborate with another woman who had her own business, right? Actually, she saw the invitation. So usually when I do my project, I send out my newsletter to my professional network first. So I'll do my professional network, and once I'm done with my professional network, I'll come here, I'll come online, and for other people. So that woman, she is a part of my professional network, and I had sent the newsletters about the accelerator program. I think it was 2024. So it had the so when I think it was 2024 or 2023. So when she saw it, she saw that the youth agency was running a summer accelerator program. She saw the overview of the program, and then what she did is she decided, she reached out to me and she said, let's have a meeting. So I had a meeting with her, and then she said that she would love to collaborate with me on the accelerator program. They had to present as well. But the person who was supposed to present is the person who worked on the presentation is that lady, that young lady that I interviewed. And let me tell you, that lady, she did an exceptional job for that presentation. But at the last minute, our collaboration fell apart. And this is, oh my God, okay, we have time. So this is, it's so important when people are either trying to, they're saying that you're doing something right, and they're like, hey, you know what, we would love to collaborate. It's very important for each parties to understand what they're coming with, because otherwise you get swept into something that you did not sign yourself for, or it's kind of like it gets blurry. Long story short, that I felt like that woman was really trying to do something that I was not okay with. So I had to back away from that, and I was like, because usually I can run my project alone. And if I'm inviting someone who collaborates, this is like people that I have good esteem with. These are people that they have integrity, and it's kind of like I can vouch for them. Otherwise, I'm not partnering. Otherwise, I'm not collaborating, let alone partnering, which is really important. There's a big difference with collaboration and partnership. A collaboration is usually something that, for example, the project that I did, it's a collaboration. It's a collaborative project. The webinar is a collaborative project. It's not a partnering project. So meaning that, I decided to do that. I invited these young ladies and they get a stipend from it. It's a collaborative project. When you partner with someone, this is where you are going to sit down with the person, and contract is going to get signed. So you have contracts that are signing. People are saying, okay, this is what that partnership is about. This is what we are going to be signing. This is what we are going to be doing, right? Partnership inquires more. Partnership, a lot of the time, you can't get out of it. You can't get out of it like easily, right? So you always have to be very careful when you are inviting someone, or when someone is asking you to be a part of something that you're doing. You got to be very specific. Are we collaborating with this project, or are we partnering with this project, right? Mm, Partnership may mean that, okay, you come in with 50%, the person is coming with 50%. Partnership can mean that, the person is coming with their own, you're coming with your own, and then we're putting it together. And then, when it comes to the fees, it is split in half or a third, however the partnership is going. So anyway, long story short, I was collaborating with that woman, but she is the one who offered the collaboration. I listened to what she had to say. I did feel like it would be a great input for the youth agency, and we decided to move forward. Thankfully, before I put everything out, she she requested something that was not part of the collaboration. So I then said to her, let's have another meeting, because you requested something that we haven't discussed. So let's talk about that. And then when we talked about that, she came in with a whole package of things that I was supposed to, supply to her. And I'm looking at it like, first of all, this is a project that the youth agency is running on its own. we are sending out newsletters from, networks. So you saw it and you asked if you wanted to be a part of it, which is fine. I listened to you and I felt like it would have been a great ad for my organization. And I said, okay, let's do it. But then at the tail end, you're coming in with a lot more than we discussed. You're coming in with things that I never signed up for. I never told you that, the youth agency would be doing this and that and that. And the third, so I backed away. And also, ladies and gentlemen, always be very wary of people. It's kind of like you had everything ready, which goes back to the last live. It's so funny how like every time I come live, like everything that I'm saying to you, they just tie in. It goes back to the last line that we were talking about when I was mentioning to you Wyclef Jean, and I said to you that he did Michel Martelly really dirty at the end because here he was supporting Michel Martelly, making sure that Michel Martelly was going to be okay for the campaign. But at the last minute, he comes down to Haiti and put his name on the ballot, which means that all around he was supporting Martelly, but he wasn't really fully generally supporting Martelly. He was probably looking at everything that Martelly would have had access to as he become the president of the of Haiti, and he decided, well, you know what, I could go too. So that's an underhanded tactic that snake people do to you. It shows no integrity. It shows who you are really as a person. So always be wary of what people are coming to do to you as you are deciding to either partner with them or collaborate with them on a project, and then at the right when the project is getting ready to start and that person comes with a bullshit offer or with a bullshit like, okay, we have to do this, we have to do that, otherwise I'm not able to participate, like we need to, I would need for you to sign this, I would need for you to sign that. And then as you're skimming or as you're sitting down and reading through what they're asking you to sign, you're realizing that what is this? And this is at the last minute that they're doing that. So you have to be very, very careful with that. So long story short, that lady who worked with me last year, she was a part of the whole debate or how things ended up with me and that woman. And by the way, let me just go ahead and say this because we talk a lot, and this is why I'm never a part of any black and white saga. I'm not so sure if it's because I grew up in Haiti, and in Haiti we don't really have those type of racism. We definitely have prejudice. I talked to you guys about that. But when you think about the United States and when you think about how this is a country that literally builds, by the way, June 19th, I think you guys celebrate June 10th, something like that in the United States. And when you think about the US, this is a country that it's a country that promotes the hate of black and white people so much. It's always some shit going on between black people, white people. Oh, it's because we're black. It's this, is that. It's a country where they literally build the country off of that. They make money off of that. They profit off of that. And mainly black people, African American people, well, black Americans, it's hard for them to comprehend the mindset. When you automatically want to side with someone, want to, work with someone because they're black only, you're setting yourself up for failure. You really are doing that. And I do know that because I seen it on YouTube and I seen it on Instagram that there's like a boycott going on for Asian. I don't know what this guy said. I don't know what happened, but it's good business for black people, black salons. So I'm really happy to see that, black businesses are also getting, recognized for the work that they're doing when it comes to beautician. So anyways, um what was I saying? Oh yes, to go back, the lady that I had reached out to, so who was in my network, she's actually an African woman. She's a black woman from Zimbabwe. This is someone that I've met in Haiti, who came to my house in Haiti, that I had very, very good esteem for. But that was over 12 years ago. People change. People change constantly. Stop believing that you met someone 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, and then you're going to connect with them and they're going to be the same individuals. No, life changes, life changes, circumstances changing. Anything that happens in your life will change you. anything that happens in your life is going to be something that is going to make it's going to mold you into a different person. I've always shared, and I talked about that with my members on my membership, that I am definitely not the same woman that I was when I came to Haiti. Absolutely not. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and pretend that, everything that happened in Haiti did not change me. They very much changed me. I have a hardship inside of me that is very, very, I have a different stripe. So, anyways, yeah, so the lady is African. She's actually a woman from Zimbabwe. And the other lady is a white woman, right? Who had more integrity? The other lady had a lot more integrity than that black woman, because she saw what happened. She saw what happened. She actually was under contract with them, so there was a lot of things that she couldn't interfere with. And she was very, very professional and cautious, because I saw the work that she did for the project that me and that other company was supposed to put together. I saw the work that she did. And I love the way that she worked. She's so professional and so knowledgeable when it comes to technology. So I knew that I still wanted to keep a relationship with her, and I wanted to talk to her. And thankfully, because she was the person who was working on that project, I had already built a certain rapport with her. So when that fell through, I still went ahead and pushed forward. But then I wrote to her privately and I asked her if she would be open to working with me in the near future. And she was under contract with that other place, and she said she would, but not at the moment, because she is under contract with that other place. And then when we decided to work together, she really went in details with me, because the first presentation that she did was amazing, but it technically fell under that other company's work, so she couldn't bring the same to me. So she had to express that to me and make it clear to me that, if she's going to work with me, she has to prepare something that is new for the youth agency. And she delivered. She did an awesome job. And she understood mainly what I really was talking about when with technology, with Haiti. She even included politics, like a section of politics, as far as, like, how we can use technology for, what was it again, for elections, things like that. It's so good. So it's just to show you how, pulling people in your how do we say, in your circles. How do you work with people? How do you get people that are so professional to work with you? It's mainly going to be strength of character. Someone has to believe in the vision that you have. Someone has to see the strength of character that you have. They have, first and foremost, they have to want to work with you. They have to see the vision. They have to understand where you're coming from. There needs to be an incentive for them outside of only the money that they are gaining. What are you bringing to the table for them, to work and collaborate with you on a particular project? Don't forget to give me a thumbs up as you are here on the live, guys. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. So, anyways, my webinar is going amazing. I am emotional about it, because just to, as I mentioned to you, just to see, just hello, just to see how people are coming and are participating, or deciding to join the youth agency when I'm putting out project. It's really rewarding, and it also reaffirmed that don't sit on a particular project that you want to do. You don't know who's going to feel like, I want to join in. You don't know who's going to look at something that you're doing and want to collaborate with you. If you have something in your heart, and if you feel like, what, I really want to put this out, put it out, put it out. You don't know along the way what is going to be doing. Don't only look at, but I'm not ready. But I'm not ready. But I need this. But I need that. But I need to be professional. But I need, no, 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 no. Have the idea in mind. Write it down first on paper so that it makes sense to you. So that when you are pitching yourself to someone else, right? When you are asking people to, collaborate with you, participate in something that you're doing, you're it's like you have a clear mindset of what you're saying, because in your mind, a lot of the time, sometimes you guys are not able to pull people to work with you because your mindset is not clear. Like, the vision that you have is inside your head, but as you are speaking and as you are trying to tell people about it, it comes out like unclear because you haven't write it down. You got to learn how to write things down and sit on the project and understand what you're doing so that people know, oh, okay, this is how I can collaborate with you. Okay, this is what you're doing, right? Okay, this is the information that I have to bring for you. Are we here? We have to talk. Oh, I'm still early, so it's 30 minutes. Which brings me to the youth agency, which is now we are doing our summer accelerator program 2026. This is like the third one in a row. I am very excited. You guys know that I told you guys. Usually I do it in the early month of July, but because of the webinar, and I really wanted to focus on the webinar, I really wanted to make sure that the webinar was going to be what it is. So I decided to push the Summer Accelerator program. So, what is the Summer Accelerator program? The Summer Accelerator program is a shorter version of the mentorship program, with the difference that the mentorship program, usually I have it for, so you join the mentorship, it is your goal. So if the mentorship would be something that, if you need a mentor, the youth agency has this annual, mentorship program, and you just need the support. You want to get those goals out, you want to get the vision out. It's a program that there is very little that I decided to put out that I am not proud of, because I am the one who works on everything that you see out, and I take my time, and the result is just the result. When people come, first of all, they are always so shocked. They're always looking like, we didn't think that it would have been that. It is that. It is that. It is that. And oh, yes, we didn't think that it is that. I take my time when I decide to work on a project to make sure that I am providing resources. So you have access to materials, you have access to resources. A lot of the time, myself, sometimes I participate. There's so many things out there, right? There's so many coaching people. There's so many mentorship programs. There's so many programs. There's so many universities, things like that. So um, I'm gonna be really honest. Like, the program of the youth agency can go toe to toe with Ivy League universities. I'm so honest. The only thing now that we are needing is it's some type of making sure that we do those partnership, because it's tough. The mentorship, you don't get access to a mentor that's going to sit there and only listen to you. I don't lecture. I tell people this constantly. I don't lecture, meaning that you don't sit there and then I'm talking, 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 talking. We're working. You have access to books. You have access to, materials, articles. So even when you're done with the session, you still have access to all those information that you could sit there and you can just go over. So the accelerator program is really the shorter version of the mentorship, because for the accelerator program it's 21 days. Instead of being 6 weeks, it's 21 days of accelerator program. And this summer, because the first 2 summers we concentrated on entrepreneurship, the goal was, pitching, teaching people how to pitch their business, teaching people how to, like, present themselves. But this time around, I am doing it on self motivation as well as self discipline. So for 21 days, let's just say that you have a project that you haven't started. This is going to be the program that you want to be a part of, the program that you want to join. It's kind of like a Kickstarter, right? So you have something in mind, you have a project in mind, but you haven't put it out. You don't know where to start, you don't know where to begin, or you don't have the encouragement. You don't know how to put yourself out there. This is going to be the program for you. This is going to be an excellent Kickstarter for you. You are going to be learning how to be disciplined as you are working, because as a first thing in everything that we do. We got to learn how to be disciplined. Discipline and consistency, this is what is going to support you and move forward. So this is also a program for people who are already working on a project, but it's like you feel tired. You feel like it's long. You put it down. You started it. You haven't finished it. You don't have the stamina. Don't forget that this is the month of June. So we are right at the peak of 2026. So we've already spent the 6 months, and now we are on the last 6 months of the year. Where are you with those 6 months? Where are you with the goals that you set for yourself? How many projects did you put out? How many projects did you successfully deliver? A lot of the time people start a project but they don't finish it. A lot of the time people start something and they put it together. What exactly is it that you already started but you put down because you don't have the energy, you don't have the goal, you don't have the stamina, you don't have that extra kick, and you're like, oh, I would love to finish this, but I'm just like, no, I don't want to finish it. So this is going to be the perfect program for you to join us. And for 21 days, we are going to be working on your project. We are going to be working on something that you wanted to do. We're going to be teaching you, like, it's going to be motivation. We're going to be working. I'm going to give you the bigger layout. I'm going to teach you the ins and out of something that you really feel like, okay, you know what, I really have this in mind, but I don't know where to start. I don't know how to finish it. Or I really wanted to do this, but I don't know where to, I don't know the layover. Or I started this already, but I'm midway through it, or I'm having some roadblocks. You know what? I did this, I started it in January, or I started it last year, but I put it back together. I put it down, and I just right now I just want the reaffirmation. I just want to know that, like, I'm in good hands. I can forward. This is good for you, right? This is going to be the program for you. I'm telling you, you really want to jump on that bandwagon. A lot of the time, you guys are lollygagging. You guys have access to resources and people who can support you, but you wait and you wait a little longer. You wait too long for you to do that. So I am going to be doing the Summer Accelerator program, and it starts on July 20th and it ends on July 10th. This is my a very all of the programs that I have are great. Okay, everything is good. It is worth more than what you're going to be paying. You will get access to books. You'll get access to 4 books. You'll get access to your deadline calendar, which is going to support you in understanding, how do I meet my deadline? How do I create a deadline for myself? How am I able to put project after project after project and be successful? How am I able to do these things? We are going to be focusing on, your focus point. A lot of the time, and I say this constantly, which is really the truth, people can't see the finish line because they are focusing on another thing. What exactly? And you have to learn how to break down weekly goals as well. Weekly goals are really important because then by the end of the week, you've accomplished that goal, and before you know it, every month you've accomplished something. A lot of times, sometimes it's difficult for people to have a big goal, but they need to learn how to break it down, like break it down week by week, so that you can work on it. If you tell me, well, what is the project that I'm going to accept? It's any project really. It can be something that is a very lengthy project that you're working on. It could be something very creative, like you have a creative idea and you want to put it out, and you just feel like, okay, I really want to do this. It could actually also be very personal. You could have personal goals that you feel like, you know what, I really had this to do for the year and I haven't started it. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to finish. And then you join the program and you'll be very, very surprised with the support that you're going to be receiving the resources that you're going to have access to. So, I give 6 this time around. You're going to have access to six articles. You choose six articles. You're also going to have access to three workshops development. The workshops are important, right? It's important for me to always provide workshops because a lot of time people feel like they may not need it, or for people who are employed, they're looking at it like, well, my employer is already providing these things. But trust me, when it comes to the workshop from the youth agency, honey, you're gonna sign up for one, and next thing you know, you're gonna say you gotta keep coming back because that's the work that we do. So many people that I know started with having workshops from the youth agency, and they come back, they sign up, they participate, because it's the same way that I come here and I talk to you guys. When I do my workshop, they are a little bit lengthy, but you are getting everything out of it. Like, you're not gonna miss out. So you're going to have access to three workshops development. We have all type of workshops development. We have workshops development that are for business people. We have workshops development that are for self development, such as our stress management workshop development. That's also really good. We have workshop development on maximizing your time. How do you maximize your time? A lot of time people, they don't know how to maximize their time. They're here, but they don't know how to maximize their time. How do you maximize on your time in order to see your goal, right? How do you utilize your time? Because a lot of times, things happen that is kind of like, come in left field, and you have to take care of this, you have to take care of that. Someone gets sick, someone has to go to the hospital. But if you were able to maximize on your time, when those hurdles are coming, you are able to maneuver, right? You're able to maneuver through those hurdles. So we have workshops that are going to be three workshops development. You're going to have access to four books. Let's not forget that this is only 21 days of our program. So you have to show up for yourself. You have to be willing to put in the work. You got to get the maximum out of the program, because the mindset has to be here. You understand that you're going to work, right? I tell these people all the time, that is not a program. None of the program from the youth agency are programs where you can, it's no program where you're not going to put in the work. You got to create the time for something that you want to see yourself succeed. You want to see yourself at the finish line. Well, put in the time, put in the effort. Let's get those goals out, but be willing to do the work. Be willing to tell yourself that, okay, you know what, I'm really, this summer I'm going to put in the work. If you put in the work, you're going to maximize on your skill set. You're going to benefit from the program. You're going to benefit so much. The majority of the people that I have who always come and participate in the program of the youth agency, it's kind of like it's a Kickstarter. And this is why they've given me also a lot of, like, how can I say, they've given me so much reassurance, not only in the work that I'm doing, but also to make me feel like I really want to make sure that the youth agency becomes the platform that it can be. Because each of our participants, it's like, once they finish, first of all, they never want to leave. They want to stay in those programs forever, which makes me so good. But you have to go. But it's like the minute that they're finished, they enroll in school. That's that, they enroll in school. They continue, or they'll sign up for something else. They continue to sign up for workshop development. They're like, wow, like, we didn't think that the program had. Yeah, I tell you guys, it's like, you're not gonna be working next to me, and no, baby, I'm about, yes, I am all that in a bag of chips. I tell you this, you're not gonna be working with me and not see the result. This is not what I do. Couple of years ago, I was invited, because a lot of the times I get invited to participate in different programs. And there was someone in my network. She's a partner from the youth agency as well, and she said, you know what, are you interested? There is this other network, and this is a larger network. They operate on a global scale. So whereas the youth agency is still fairly short, fairly small, that other network operates at a grander scale than we are. And she said that they had a mentorship program and that she would love to recommend me into to join the program. And I said yes, she can submit the recommendation. I would be really, interested in doing that. So she did just that. She sent out the recommendation, and that was 3 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. I think it was 2022. And then she recommended me. Now I have the option to be a mentor, and it's a 12 months program. By the way, it's 2 years. 2 years, that's 20. Yeah, it's a 24 months program, but you can sign up for 24 months or for 12 months. And I do believe that I had signed up for 12 months, so that's like a year. And she said to me, "You can the program. I could choose to be a mentor in the program, or I could choose to be a mentee. So have a mentor." I already had a program from the youth agency. We had already started with the mentorship program, and I didn't want to be a mentor to anyone because I was already mentoring people from the youth agency. So I said I want to be a mentee. And also, sometimes when you teach a lot, you pour a lot into people. You want other people to pour into you as well. So it's always okay when you are like when you're already leading and you are you have your own business or you always sit at the top. When you decide to join either other businesses, other work, don't get a job that is like high top. Get something medium so that the workload is not enough, or you get people to pour into you. That's how you kind of like you balance things out. So I decided that I was going to be a mentee. So I signed up to receive a mentor, and you had to specify the category where you wanted to be mentored in. And I said finance because I was interested in looking for global funding for the youth agency. So I get this mentor, and we had to meet with each other every week. So I had to meet with that mentor every Friday. And first of all, the woman who was my mentor, she was supposed to be someone who was very good on finance, right? And I do believe that she was working for a company which I can't disclose, but she was moving around. So she was always in a different phase. And let me tell you how I evaluated quickly that the work that I was doing was far more better than the work that, I got called for like this other platform, and also evaluating myself as a mentor. Guys, getting a mentor, it's you got to be careful with that. Everybody cannot mentor. Everybody cannot mentor. People sign up to be mentors in order to be able to put, maybe their work requires them to be mentoring. Sometimes you have jobs who require you to do those type of program. Sometimes they do it because they want to, sorry, sometimes they do it because maybe that person wants to go into government, maybe that person has some other thing in mind. But what I am going to share with you is that everybody cannot mentor. And before you choose someone to mentor, you got to vet the person. You got to make sure, oh, someone is in the rooftop working construction. I'm sorry. So you got to vet the person. Because as a mentee, when you sign up for mentorship, you should feel comfortable with your mentor. You should be able to um, have someone who can provide information and resources. And maybe I'm at this place in life. I don't think so because I do have other mentors who mentor me well, right? I do have other mentors. I just felt like that woman, instead of being my mentor, she literally was taking a lot of information. Like it felt like I had more to give than she had to give. And I didn't realize that until maybe 2 to 3 months into 2 months into the program. I realized that I was not learning anything from this program. Like literally, because I'm a talker and I enjoy talking, like when I started to meet with that woman, so we would meet every Friday. So automatically, I would chat. I would chat it up. And, she never submitted to me, for example, prior to the meetings. I assumed that she would have to submit, okay, the overview, or I would be like, this is the overview as my mentor. You're the person who has to create the overview of what we're going to talk about, so that the hour. No, girl, she was not doing that. She literally let me talk, and I would talk and talk. And I realized that I was giving more information to that woman that was necessary. She began to know more of me than I was willing to share. But I was talking so much during those meetings. And also, after a month of us getting acquainted, because the program, there's like bulletproof, like, I think the first 8 weeks, which are like about 2 months, you have to. It was like the first 8 weeks. It was a more introductory of the program, so getting acquainted with your mentor. But then it's like you dive into things. So we were going on 3 months, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, excuse me. We're going on 3 months, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'm not learning anything. Like, I haven't even nothing. We haven't worked on anything. And 2 months into the program, Fridays are my days off. Fridays are the days that I really, because I'm working constantly every day on the internet, doing this, doing that. So Fridays are my at leisure days. So I have to wake up on Fridays and meet with you. And as I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm wasting my time. Like, I could be doing something else. I could be creating and developing program for my own work. And this is when I knew that that woman, like, it was so weird, because I decided that I was no longer going to participate in the program. So halfway through, I said, you know what, I'm gonna not participate. But first, I had to write to the woman who recommended me, because it was a recommendation, and she already had my name out there that I was joining the program. So I had to let her know that I was going to pull myself out of the program, which I did. But then when I sent the email to my mentor that I no longer wanted to be a part of the program, that I felt like, I was going, and this was in the year 2022. So Haiti was going right at the peak of the madness. Do you know that that woman never replied to my email? She never, absolutely never replied to my emails. Never replied to my emails. She never said to me, and mind you, we had been meeting for 2.5 months straight every Friday. That says everything. That says everything that I needed to know about the relationship that I had with her. That was a woman who probably was mentoring me, but realized that I had more to give than she. That was a woman who was probably secretly competing with me, even though she was my mentor, because she probably looked at me as a threat. That was a woman who probably decided that she didn't want to have more to give to me, because she probably looked at it like, well, damn, like, she already knows this, she knows that, she's doing this, she's doing that, she's involved in this, she's involved in that shit. I'm not going to pour more into her. I'm not going to support her in her business. I'm not going to make sure that she knows how to look for those fundings that she is eligible for, that she wants to happen, right? You have to be careful, because when people mentor you, they literally have access to something that is profound. Whether it is a mentor that you are seeking mentally, emotionally, spiritually, professionally, those are people who are tied up to you. They have a, it's like a lien. They have how do I say un lien in English? They, they're tied up to you, so they know of you. They are your mentor. They have to get to know you. But what I will say is that, yeah, always be very cautious, because that woman was moving funny. And this is how I started to recognize that she really was not going to pour in me. It's when I started to not talk as much during our meetings. So remember, I told you I would talk and talk and talk on the meetings. So I decided not to talk. And that's when she had to do the work, because we're meeting for an hour on Fridays, every other Friday. So in the beginning, I'm talking, I'm talking about Haiti. Like, she'll ask a few questions here and there, and then it's kind of like I'll carry through. So the hour goes by and she's not teaching me anything. So when I recognize that that woman is not working with me. She's not teaching me anything. I'm not learning anything from her. So I decided to stay quiet. And I remember when I started to stay quiet, this is when she realized that, okay, she's not talking. So I have to work. So it became kind of like she was in on the fact that I started to see the way she was moving, and she began to feel very uncomfortable. And also the other thing that she was doing is she started to cancel the meetings, and it's like we're only meeting like twice a month because we're meeting every other Friday. We're not meeting constantly on Fridays, right? And then it was like she would cancel. She would be like, "Yeah, you know what? I have to do this. I have to do that. So I'm not going to be able to meet with you." And I felt like, okay, it felt like we were going around, and then it began to be when we are meeting. We are it's very awkward. You know, when we're finally meeting, it's awkward. Like there's like the energy is not there. So yeah. Woo, bonjour. There's so much more. It's like I remember when I sent the email. I remember when I said, imagine that you have someone that you're mentoring. The person is all the way living in a country like Haiti. The country is going through madness, and she tells you that he or she tells you that they don't want to be apart. Like they have to be like any person would be like, hey, are you okay? Is the situation in your country getting into your mind? Do you need some support? Do you need just to take a week break and maybe you can meet some other time? How can I be of support to you? I'm here for you. If you don't want to be a part of the program, next year you can join next year, and everything is going to be good. The lady doesn't say nothing to me. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely anything. I send an email and let her know that I would not be able to come back and I was not going to join the program, and I was just going to move on. No reply, no nothing from her. Absolutely none. Did I learn anything? No. I just learned how to always not to overshare, not to always want to thinking that people are just like me and want to pour into other people. So this is just to show you that not everybody can be a mentor. And also, this is also to show you that a lot of the time we join programs that have a huge visibility, right? So you're looking at someone who's still the underdog, and you decide that, you know what, I actually want more visibility. I want this, I want that. So I'm going to join another program. I can be very honest and tell you that I have yet to come across any mentorship program that works the way that I work. It's not. You're not gonna have access to that. You never. It's really very, very well put together. I mean, you are going to learn. You're going to learn. You're not gonna enter and feel like I've wasted my time. It's not gonna be anything that I do. It's not gonna be that damn like, I'm already a month into it, and no, you're actually going to feel very excited. I remember the first year we had two people sign in, and COVID was going on. I had people who were sick on COVID and still showing up. I had this one lady, she was so sick. She was coughing. She was literally coughing. And I was like, we shouldn't be working. You should really rest your body. We don't have to work. And you know what she said to me? She said, no, 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 no. I know how you are. I know that you She said, I know how you are. I know that you're very, about timing and about showing up. So I'm going to make the effort. And I had to say to her, no, your health comes first. That's fine. We can take a week, 2 weeks off, and then, we'll continue. So instead of doing 6 weeks, you'll do, at the time it was, I think I had it at 4 weeks. So we did 6 weeks. And she really, really loved it. She loved it. And last year, I had a lady, she had so much going on with her children, with her home. She had to, um, that was 2 years ago, she had to, get other people in her. She had a lot going on. She had a lot going on personally, but she showed up. I would meet with her. She had to turn homework, and she would call me on breaks. She would go outside, she would be at work, she would be on her breaks, and she would sit like by side of vraiment fier du travail mwen. Like, oh my God, just to think about it. Kom si pou wè moun ki vin jwen nou, moun kap travay, you know, moun ki okype, moun nan li pa chèche ti moun l'ekol, moun nan, but moun nan fò konfians, moun nan la ge kol lan men, moun nan di, bon, m vin jwen nou, m pou kap nan la, men sa m gen bezwen, m vin jwen nou. So, it's like, wow, like, ooh, I have chills just thinking about that parce que c'est un honneur. It's an honor. It's just the biggest honor for me to do this work. Yeah, like nous pouvons get someone qui a signé, qui a participé. Pas que c'est son seul monde, pas que c'est deux monde, pas que like depuis que me connais que Léon mon vini mon a dit yeah like connais ma vie joindre et moi même moi connais ma I'm gonna deliver. Ça fait plaisir, you know. Là, mon a payé tout comme si, yo, programme yo pas cheap, but, you know, ou buy comme là. Mais, je senti que, you know how I know that these people, they know that the work is good because usually the way that I have the registry, the payment set up, you pay a fee to join the program, and within 2.5 weeks, or 3 weeks, you pay the remaining balance. Petit, and everything is set up online, so you have to pay in order to continue, otherwise you get pulled out of it. Mes amis, moi pa jam gen moun ki depi bal dat la pa ko rive m get an jen res kop men. Kop mwen toujou la. Sa fe mwen ke moun nan pa perdu, moun nan pa kite pou sorti nan program nan. Fò jwen res artik yo, fò jwen res bagay yo, fò jwen, e pi mwen ba yon pil, oh my God. Mwen fè mè bouch mwen.